are going to be involved today, going?
I mean, it's been a building accumulation over the last couple of weeks of, putting in new plays. And last week just wasn't, didn't get to them. I was ready for anything tonight, so it didn't really catch me off guard.
What's that process been like in practice of your job as backup quarterback, but also the various things you got to learn, the plays you got to do? How do you balance that?
Yeah, I mean, it helps being quarterback because you got to know everything, but to that, I mean, you can know, the routes, but you don't necessarily inherently know how to run the routes. So there's a couple times where, Dylan and I or whatever it is go off on the side in practice, and I'll run a couple of those routes with some of the coaches, and they'll help me a little bit because I mean I've never played anything but quarterback, so there's a little bit of a learning curve there, but still you spend enough time being around the game, you start to understand how everything works. So
how did it feel to get that round of applause when you went out there, knowing you're clearly really well respected throughout the state and throughout the locker room still?
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I try not to listen to that, but obviously, when I came in, I heard that. It was nice to know that people, I don't know, not recognize, but appreciate maybe my contributions. So I hope I can continue to gain more respect as we move forward.
Talk about building up toward more plays and whatnot. Is that a season-long process, or are you putting new stuff every week, or what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a fine line, I think, because we have so many talented guys that we're recruited here to do that job. But at the same time, I think that's a coachable question because he's monitoring who gets the ball. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm open to anything, but yeah, I'm gonna continue to work.
How has your progress been as a route runner? You shot a ball tonight.
I don't know. I haven't. I gotta go back and watch the film and see it, and maybe go talk to Coach McGuire about what it looked like and what I could do better. But I mean, a catch is a catch, so you get open enough to catch a ball, I think it's pretty good.
You see that?
Coach says there's a fine line between having his number 2 quarterback out there in danger and then letting you play because you have that athletic ability. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I understand where he's coming from. He's the head coach, so he's got to look out for everyone. And for the sake of the team, if Dylan, it would honestly kind of be a travesty if I got hurt on one play and then God forbid Dylan got hurt like 2 plays later. Then we're I think we have all the trust in the world in Danny, but it's still there's a certain level of pushing it enough to the point where we can't control what happens out there, so have to toe the line, I guess.
Did you hear the crowd when you came in against UTEP? When you came in tonight, do you hear that?
I do. I try to not let it affect me in the moment, but I think it's still really cool to know that the state appreciates my efforts and hopefully can continue to grow that.
The drive you led tonight, I mean, can you kind of talk about the progress you feel like you've made at quarterback too, with the work that you put in the offseason and then kind of what you've been able to show so far?
Yeah. I mean, up to this point, I've been just trying to be efficient. Last year, obviously, completion percentage wasn't where I wanted it to be, and that affected the team a couple times where drives would stall out because just missed a pass by 6 inches or something, and tried to force something that wasn't there. When like tonight on 3rd and 7 or whatever it was, get it to the back, and Emmett is, Emmett's athletic in the open field, so give it to him and let him get 20 yards or however many yards he got. And then just operating the offense, which I think, second year in the offense, everyone does a better job of. So it makes my life easier.
What's going through the heads of freshmen like Carter and Corey getting their first touchdowns?
I don't know. I never got. It took me a while to get my first touchdown, and it was exhilarating. So I can't imagine what it's like being 18 years old and scoring in front of 90,000 people. But you know, they've worked really hard for it, so I'm happy for them.
A lot's been made about your improvement. We haven't got to see a whole lot of the passing game yet, but as you said, there's another year with this offensive line. There's another year with these receivers. How much have they improved as well?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of look at it and it's almost an entirely new group, but there's still that core there of guys who kind of hold their wide receiver room down, and so I mean, I think that wide receiver room is taking leaps and bounds. It just route running. I mean, there's some athletes out there now with Isaiah and Jamal and Ja'Cory and Carter. I mean, it's kind of crazy. You know, being able to throw a fade ball to like any one of those guys, or give it to Ja'Cory on a toss and he takes it 12 yards every time. So, I mean, just like I said, I mean that makes our life easier when you can pitch and catch and they get all those yards.
A lot of talented guys on this team. Nobody else has played wide receiver, then played running back, then played quarterback on 3 straight snaps.
Yeah.
You did that tonight.
Yeah, and I came off the field after my drive at quarterback, and Coach Rule came up to me and he said, "I don't think I've ever seen anyone throw a check down and catch a check down." So, yeah, that's pretty cool. But I mean, we all have our own traits, and we have a lot of talented people on this team. So, trying to get everyone the ball that we can.
Anything else for Heinrich?
You're one more. You're 3-0.
Yep.
This football team's 3-0.
Yep.
You've been here a while.
Yeah.
I walked in, I saw your picture as a graduate. Tell me a little bit about what it feels like right now, getting ready to go into conference play 3-0 for the first time.
It's a different feeling for sure, because it kind of feels like, you know, not trying to jinx anything, but you know, I don't think that's possible. But I mean, it feels like an entirely different mindset from the last couple of years, where you know we're up against Michigan or you know any of these teams, and we're just like, oh gosh, like don't blow it. And it's more, you know, foot on the throat, like let's put them out. And so I think if we can translate that to Big Ten play, I mean we had a great run last year in that middle season, or in the middle part of the Big Ten play. So hopefully we can continue on that.
Heinrich? Thank you guys.
Thank you, Heinrich.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks guys.